You've been there, right? You scan a document, you run it through some software, and then you spend the next hour fixing all the weird, jumbled up mistakes just to make it usable. It's a huge headache, and it actually points to a hidden flaw in a technology we all depend on. So, why does this keep happening? Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Words are smashed together, numbers and letters get switched around, and the formatting, forget about it. It's just gone. It's super frustrating. It wastes a ton of time, and honestly, it can make your work look unprofessional. So, what's really going on here? Well, the tech behind all this is called optical character recognition, or OCR for short. And there's this big myth out there that it's this perfect, magical one click solution. We're about to bust that myth wide open. Now, the idea itself is brilliant, right? Take a picture of any text, an old book, a legal contract, whatever, and poof, turn it into a digital file you can actually edit and search. It's an incredibly powerful tool, but it has one major weakness. And this, right here, is the heart of the problem. No matter how fancy the software is, OCR almost always leaves errors behind. It's not that your program is bad, it's just a built in limitation in how machines read. So why can't a computer do what our eyes do so effortlessly? Let's pull back the curtain and look at the real reasons this amazing technology so often gets things wrong. It really comes down to the difference between just matching shapes and actually, understanding what they mean. Take a look at this. It's pretty fascinating. To a computer program, the number 1 and a lowercase l can look nearly identical. A 0 and a capital O, same thing. And R and next to each other often gets mistaken for the letter M. Our brains use context to figure it out in a split second, but software, it just gets confused. And oh, it gets way more complicated than just that. A slightly faded print, a tiny coffee stain, or a stray mark on the paper can throw the whole thing off. Not to mention fancy fonts, complicated tables, or even just simple bullet points. They often turn into a complete mess because the software just doesn't get the original structure. So if the machine can only get us, say, 95% of the way there, how do we close that last critical gap to get perfect text? Well, the answer is surprisingly simple, but it's also incredibly effective: the human eye. See, a person doesn't just see shapes, we understand meaning. We know that a word should be hello, not P110. We can see where a paragraph is supposed to break, and rebuild the entire original layout just by comparing the scan to the messy text, line by line. It's a place where human understanding just blows raw computing power out of the water. So what does this human-powered fix actually look like in practice? Well, it's not just a quick glance. It's a careful, step-by-step process designed to turn that messy computer output into a flawless, ready-to-use document. It all starts with putting the original scan and the machine's text side by side. Then comes the real detective work, going through character by character to correct every single mistake. After that, we fix all the spelling and grammar. And finally, the entire structure, the paragraphs, the lists, the spacing, is carefully put back together until the new document is a perfect, clean, and editable version of the original. The end result of all this isn't just a slightly better document. We're talking about a complete transformation. Let's look at a really clear example. And this says it all, doesn't it? On the left, you've got that classic OCR mess. Numbers and letters all mixed up. You can kind of read it, but it's totally unprofessional. And on the right, it's perfect. Clean, accurate, ready to go. That's the difference that a meticulous human review makes. And ultimately, this is the only number that matters. Not 95%, not even 99%, 100% accuracy. Because when you're dealing with legal contracts, academic research, or critical business files, anything less just isn't good enough. It can cause huge problems. Perfection has to be the standard. Now, of course, anytime you're talking about handling important documents, the conversation has to turn to privacy and security. It's a massive concern, and any professional service has to take it seriously. So, this all boils down to one word: trust. Things like promising your files are never shared, that they're deleted as soon as a project is done, and being willing to sign a non-disclosure agreement, these aren't optional extras. They're the absolute baseline for ensuring your data stays safe while it's being perfected. And that's really the bottom line, isn't it? The true benefit here is getting back your time and eliminating that stress of having to double and triple check everything. It's all about getting a final file that you can use immediately with total confidence. So, I'll just leave you with this one final thought. That free or instant OCR tool, it seems like a great deal, But how many hours have you actually lost fixing all of its mistakes? When accuracy truly matters, the real cost isn't about money. It's about your time, your professional credibility, and the integrity of your work.